thing I do on the outside is loosen the wheel nuts off, and I've done them nice and tight last time obviously, so we'll get these loosened and we'll jack up the car and get the wheel off. Just make sure you're on the jacking plate. So now we have the wheel off. Replacing this rotor is pretty easy. You have two screws here, which are often very tight, so hit them with your WD-40 or PB blast. I think in the US they call it PB blast or something. God knows what that is. It sounds like some type of gun out of a computer game, but chuck that stuff on, let it sit for a bit, and then just use an impact driver or whatever to get those off. And then once you've got those off, there's two 14mm bolts holding on the caliper, so we pull those off, and then this whole rotor should come off and we can replace it. The measurement that you're checking with is actually the thickness of this, and I can't remember, but I think 18mm is the limit, and mine were right on the limit, so that's why we're going to do them. Just take off those Phillips head screwdrivers, Phillips head screws, and you can see mine are just actually loose, so very easy. They won't always come off that easy. That was very, very, very easy. And then I've got a bunch of 14 open-enders, and we use those to undo the 14s that hold the caliper on. You can do this without taking the handbrake cable off, so I'll do that. It's a little bit trickier, but oops, and we're going the wrong way. We're just taking the 14mm off the top. They should be pretty tight, but you can get a ring spanner in there, and you don't need to remove the handbrake cable. It's a bit fiddly, but you can do it without removing the handbrake cable. So that's one loose. Before I take that off, I'll do the other one. So the bottom one's the one that doesn't have as much room. But you can still quite easily do it like that. Right. So you can't use the ratcheting spanner on the bottom one, which is a bit annoying. Now we've got the caliper off. There we go. So I've given the rotor a bit of a clean with brake fluid already. Oh, sorry, brake cleaner, not fluid. You don't want fluid, you want brake cleaner. And I'll just set this rotor back on correctly. So what you want to do is line up these. I did it there actually. You want to line up these ones which the screws go into the screw holes, and then you just screw them on. So before you put the pads back in, because they're thicker, you'll have to get this piston to go back in the caliper, and what I do, there's special tools for it, but if you don't have the tool, I just use like a 13mm spanner, and then with a ring on the other end, just get it sitting in there, and then just It's a bit fiddly, but you just turn it with a, you just get a bit of force on it and turn it like that. I don't know if you can see that, but it's going back in the caliper. And then when you put your pads back in now, you sit them on like that. Oops. You put the one with the what's it called, the indicator, or the thing that makes the noise, you put that on the back. And I actually undid the caliper and the bracket, so it makes it almost impossible if you did it how I started to do it. And then just put these 14s back in. Once you've done this, you'll need to pump the brake a few times just to get that piston back out. But that's all there is to it. And the last thing we're going to do before we put the wheel back on is put some brake cleaner on it and just clean the disc front and back. I actually cleaned it before I put it on, but put a little bit more on here. Make sure there's no grease or anything before you bed it in. Yeah, that's about it. So it's pretty easy. Definitely not worth paying someone for if you've got a few tools. Get this one done at home. Cheers.